I am the master rater. My job is to rate things correctly. You see, my way is the only way. There's no such things as opinions here. This is all factual, okay? You can beg and cry about your picks not being exactly where they need to be. Well, they're just not good enough. This is my ratings. I'm a master at this. This is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do. And this is how I set the bar. You understand? I am the final boss of ratings. This is it. You get here, this is absolute. The only way they change is if I choose for it to change. And in honor of the X-Men coming back to animated format in X-Men 97, today I have decided to take it upon myself to rate X-Men characters in 5 categories. And you're probably wondering what those categories are. Well, here you go. From bottom to top, at the bottom tier, we have genetic failure, the disappointments, the characters that should have never been created, in my opinion. Psych, that was a test in my humble, factual brain. At number 4, we have exile, meaning they were cool one time. I don't need to see them again. They can come every once in a blue moon and it'll be okay, but I don't want to see them too much because they suck. They don't deserve the screen time. Next, we have somewhat excited. They do their job. They got cool powers. Somewhat excited about them. They're not bad. They're not good. They're there. And you have to realize that some characters need to just be there. At number 2, these are my likes. The likables. I call them extraordinary. These characters are not the best of the best, but they're good. They're good characters. I can get behind these characters. And finally, the top of the top, the cream of the crop, the Omega level mutants. We have X marks the spot. They're perfect in every which way. All right? They are perfection. Without further ado, let's start this list. And it is alphabetical order. I did not pick it. This is how the list was made, so just deal with it. The first character we have is Angel. Just Angel, not Archangel with the cool robotic wings. He just flies. For me, he's in exile. Look, he's a foundational X-Men, but all he does is fly. That's all he's got. He's a pretty boy with wings. I need a little bit more than that, rich boy. That's why you're so much cooler when you're Archangel. If this was Archangel, you move up 2 tiers, but you're basic. You're boring. You got bird wings. That's it. Have fun at exile. Next, we have Avalanche. And Avalanche here is in somewhat excited, because I am only somewhat excited. He's cool. He causes tremors and earthquakes and all that fun jazz. But have you seen his suit? Have you seen what he looks like? The dude needs an upgrade in that department. All right, he's got some stuff that he could do. Somewhat excited. He's better than just having bird wings, okay? Next, we have the man who screams louder than anyone I've ever met, Banshee. I will also put him at somewhat excited. And here's why. He somehow figured out how to get his voice to let him fly. And no, we just mocked a guy that can fly with just plain wings, but at least this guy can do something else. And it's make someone else's eardrums bleed or knock them out via his voice. All right, now he's not quite Black Bolt, somewhat excited. Bonus points because he has a sweet Irish accent. Or Scottish. To be honest, I don't know which one is which. Next, we have Beast. And I'm putting Beast in extraordinary. Why? He's furry, he's blue. You think that would be enough, but no. Athletically, freakishly gifted, and he's a genius, super smart. Alright? This guy's so smart that in a different universe he became a supervillain. That's how dangerous this man's brain is. Scientist, smart, brilliant, trying to do what's best sometimes. Crosses the line. But he's dope. You don't want to run into Beast in a dark alley. That's scary. Get your ass kicked. Next, we have Blob. Blob is a genetic failure. This guy sucks. His whole spiel, his whole thing, is that he's just fat. That's it. Congrats, dude. You're fat. That's all I gotta say on that. Next, we have Colossus. He gets to go to extraordinary. Why? because he can turn his skin into pure steel. And it deflects bullets and stuff. And he's super strong. And he can throw things really hard. And it hurts. I shouldn't have to explain it anything more than that. Also, he has a badass Russian accent. Next on the list, we have Cyclops. Now, Cyclops over the years has kind of rode the line of good guy and bad guy. But if we're going classic, Cyclops goes into extraordinary. Everybody's like, oh, he shoots lasers out of his eyes. No. They are concussion blasts out of his eyeballs. All right, this man has to wear ruby-tinted glasses just so he doesn't knock people back constantly. All right, that's a badass holding back. I don't think you want to get blasted by his eyes. No, sir. Next, we have Dazzler, and to be honest, I have to look up her power sets, because as far as I know, she's just a fancy-dancy singer. I need more than that. Okay, she can create solid light constructs, such as a sword, tigers, Wolverine claws. Is that really what she can do? After further research of Dazzler's powers, she can generate light and she can convert sound. So you look at her originally and you're like, she's just a singer? That's it? Why should I be impressed? The fact that she can make light swords and laser beams, and what else can she do? Photon blasts, destructive shields, immune to light and sound. Dazzler, we're putting you also at extraordinary. You snuck up on me, Dazzler, you did. I want to see you in a movie. Not played by Taylor Swift, that's a mistake. Fight me, Swifties. Next, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Deadpool. And of course, Deadpool goes to X marks the spot. If this was a number-generated system, he would be number 1. He would be number 0. Now, do you count him as an X-Men? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. He's on this list, so yes, I consider him more X-Force, but again, he's with the X-Men. The man can't die. Shoots, and he's hilarious. Also has some swords to cut people. I have Deadpool highest. Next, we have Emma Frost. Originally, I would have probably put her at, like, somewhat excited. And that's exactly where I'm going to put her. Somewhat excited. Listen, she's a dope villain, but she's mid here. Here's why. She bores me. All right? There are so many other people with cool telepathic things that they can do. Right? The only thing she's got going for her is she can turn her body into, like, glass. Glass is probably not accurate, but diamond. That's the word I wanted. She can do that. That's pretty cool. Outside of that, I don't really care. You're kind of a bitch. Next, we have Gambit. Now, if this was Pete Holmes, you'd say all he does is throw stuff. But I have extraordinary, because it's dope the way he throws stuff. Kinetic energy enhancement is awesome. His bow staff. Very few people pull off a bow staff. He is one of those few people. Maybe the only person to be able to pull off a bow staff outside of Donatello himself. And also, dope accent. Next, we have Havoc, the brother of Cyclops. I'm putting him in exile. Here's why. Normally, I'd be like, he's cool, but he's like, his brother is goated, almost. Almost. He's not, though. He's not in the top tier. Cyclops is awesome, though. And then his brother is just, Alex does not live up to the hype here. They also have another brother. I don't know if Vulcan's on this list. Vulcan's a badass. And it just feels like Havoc doesn't hold up to that. Also, have you seen Havoc's headgear? There's something going on there. All right. Now, he was okay in X-Men First Class. I just think he gets shat on way too much. I need to see a little bit better from Havoc. Or, maybe just not make him a brother of Cyclops, because that might be just hindering him. I don't know. For X marks the spot. One of my favorite X-Men all time. Although they kind of butchered his character a little bit in the later years to fit political standards. Nor here nor there. We're not going to get into that topic today. But he's still X marks the spot. This man is an Omega level mutant. That's the word that I was trying to come up with. If it were his choice, he could turn the entire Earth into Antarctica and be fine. All right. Also, the future iterations of Iceman are also dope. This abominable snowman Goliath look, fantastic. I gotta put Iceman top tier. I love him. He's great. And we're going back to back with the X marks the spot because I have probably the most badass X-Men character here in Juggernaut. Juggernaut is a badass. He cannot be stopped by anything. Now, is he a mutant? No, he's magical. I don't know why that is what it is, okay? He's magical, but I love it. He's dope. The look is sick. I would be crying if Juggernaut was running at me, but I would also just accept my fate and die, and that would be a very honorable death to get ran over or ran through by the Juggernaut. Next, we have Kitty Pryde, and that's another X marks the spot character. I love Kitty. First of all, she gets Lockheed, which is a pet dragon. You gotta be pretty cool to own a pet dragon. Secondly, phasing is very underrated. I've been seeing some of these more recent comic panels of her because they kind of turned her into this assassin, and she could just rip your heart out and it do nothing for you. You just have no control. Can you imagine? No blood, nothing. Your just heart is gone from your chest. She just did that. She can do it with the brain too. I watched her incapacitate people via just sticking her hand into some dude's head. She's a badass, and she probably, I believe she had swords now. She can do that with weapons. Can you imagine? A sword that just phases through and you think you block it, but no, you didn't. You're just cut in half now. Next, we have Longshot. This man is exiled. Here's why. His power is just luck. I mean, at least it's something, but outside of that, it's just boring. You're lucky? Ooh. Domino already does that. And at least she shoots people and whatever. Look, to be honest, Domino's not that cool either, alright? She's not. Longshot? It's a long shot that you would be any higher. Alright? One and done for me. Next, we have the master of magnetism himself, Magneto. And this man is also X marks the spot. This is a top tier character. Honestly, top 4 villain in comic books all time. He's on the Mount Rushmore next to a couple other people. He's definitely top 3. And I don't think he's 3. What gets more badass than Magneto? That's all I need to say. Go watch X-Men First Class if you really need any other proof or evidence. Michael Fassbender as Magneto is phenomenal. Next, we have Mimic. What a cool premise for superpowers. And what an absolute failure of execution. I'm saying genetic failure. You are one and done. You died immediately and were never brought back. You got all the powers of the original 5 X-Men, and you did do jack crap. So give it to somebody else. I've seen people with better premises, okay? Same powers as you, they just did it way better. I'll take them. You're a disappointment. Then we have Mystique. And to be honest with you, I'm tired of Mystique. Talk about overrated. Alright, her powers are the only thing redeemable about her. Outside of that, I could care less. I'm putting in exile. I've seen too much of her. There are way better X-Men villains that aren't her. Next, we have another X marks the spot character, and that is Nightcrawler. That man is a badass. X-Men 2 opening sequence. Who attempts an attack on the president? Nightcrawler. Was he possessed by mental things? Also, yes, it wasn't his choice. He's a good man, and he also gets a sword sometimes, so he's a swashbuckler. That's the words they use, not mine. But I love Nightcrawler. He is a BAMF. And that is not just the teleportation noise that the teleportation makes. Next, we have Nimrod, which is just a fancy dancy sentinel. I'm putting him in extraordinary, and that's because I just haven't seen him in anything. But he looks badass. Have you ever played Marvel Snap? If you destroy him in Marvel Snap, 2 more appear. That says something to me. That sounds like he's strong and can multiply. And when you kill 1, 2 more appear, and that's pretty badass. So I'll take Nimrod in extraordinary. Also because I don't see any just regular Sentinels here. And the Sentinels would just be somewhat excited. But Nimrod's a tier above. Next, we have Jean Grey, aka the Phoenix. And to me, she's only somewhat excited. Listen, I am tired of the whole I'm the Phoenix. Now I'm the Dark Phoenix. Now I die. Now I come back to life. I'm the Phoenix again. And now I'm not the Phoenix again. Blah, 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 blah. No. I'm tired of you. Okay? Why? Why? They could have just made her the next Professor X. That's what they should have done. Professor X, they should have just let die and then just bring in Jean Grey as the next Professor X. I could have been cool with that. That would have been awesome. Not everybody has to go on the dark, egotistical, power crazy, corrupted adventures all the time. I feel like they never know what to exactly do with Jean Grey. So that's where I'm at with Jean. Next, we have Polaris, the daughter of Magneto. Somewhat excited. Listen, she's not as cool as her dad. Her dad is top tier. It's hard to beat, all right? If Magneto didn't exist, it was just Polaris, maybe she'd be higher. But for me, she's just there. Next, we have Professor X. Tough one for me. I'm going Exile. That's going to be a hot take. But I'm just kind of done with Professor X, to be honest with you. I just am. Patrick Stewart, to me, was the perfect Professor X, but even after that, he just kind of lame. I don't know why. He's like a good leader, but after that, I mean, he's raised all these other people to be leaders, and now he's just kind of there. He just needed some badass scenes. I feel like he's just fodder. Now, I know in the new stuff, I haven't read the new stuff. I know he's more like on the edge a little bit and can walk again. Next, we have Psylocke. I've got her in Extraordinary. She's dope. That's all I got for her. Next, we have Pyro. He'll go in Somewhat Excited. He's cool. He can burn stuff, but that's literally all they ever kind of did with him. Have you ever heard of Pyro being the main villain in an X-Men book or a movie? No. He's a part of the Brotherhood. But he's never on his own. I would love to see Pyro just go on a spree of arson, but he doesn't do it. They never have pulled the trigger on Pyro. Next, we have Quicksilver. Again, Somewhat Excited, kid of Magneto. It's really hard for a kid of Magneto to just be able to beat him, He's fast, but he's not super duper duper fast. He's like Flash. Like the Flash would outrun him in circles and circles and circles. So he's just faster, That's all he's got. He can't like throw lightning bolts like the Flash. Can't go back in time like the Flash. No. Next, we have Rogue. And Rogue is X marks the spot. Why? Because she's a total babe. No. And also, because her powers are awesome. If she wanted to, she could kill anybody just by touching them. Right? She can take their powers. Look, she got Captain Marvel's powers permanently because she touched her for too long. And also, if a girl called me sugar, well, that's exactly what I would be, a pile of sugar, because I would just melt. And with that amazing Southern Belle accent, you got me hooked. I'm there. I'm a sucker for accents, all right? Next, we have Sabretooth, and he's going to go to Extraordinary. And he's going to go to Extraordinary because of Wolverine. If Wolverine wasn't there, he would probably be exiled. That's the only thing that makes him interesting is his beef with Wolverine. Next, we have the Scarlet Witch. Look, I'm going to put her in exile. I don't need to see the Scarlet Witch anytime soon. And to be honest with you, her with the X-Men, it's just an odd fit. Movies, she's fine. I've never been a huge Scarlet Witch fan. She's a powerhouse. That's great. She did the whole House of M. Fantastic. Do you. To be honest, not a great thing that you did. But I just don't need to see it all the time. Go mess around with Doctor Strange. Next, we have another X marks the spot character. I have Storm, the goddess of the weather goddess herself, can call hail from the sky, lightning, rain, tornadoes, a light breeze. That's Storm, and she's a badass. Also, the Queen of Wakanda. She married Black Panther, probably one of the most badass superheroes of all time. Next, we have Thunderbird. Now, from what I just read about his powers, he's just super strong, and it takes a lot more to, hurt him. But also, he's, military trained, so he's a badass, right? From what I remember with Thunderbird, he's very good with knives. So I will take Thunderbird, and I will put him at Somewhat Excited. I think he was on X-Force for a little while, that would be something to see. I think I'm thinking of Thunderbird. I could be wrong, but he looks like a badass, sounds like a badass. Next, we have Toad. Toad is another genetic failure. Dude, you're icky. You're gross. If your main attraction is how long your tongue is, get out of my sight. That's gross. Ugh. Ugh. You look slimy. You look wet. No, thank you. I don't want to touch you. I don't want to. You probably smell. Go back to the pond where you belong, Toad. And I know you're a toad, not a frog, so maybe you'll just drown in the pond. And finally, the last character that goes and X marks the spot, and that's Wolverine. Arguably the greatest X-Men of all time. The Claws alone, the only X-Men to get his own solo movies a couple of times. He's the man. I would watch Wolverine kill a lot of people. I would love an old man Logan style where he just goes after the Hulk and the Red Skull in live action. That'd be fantastic. And with this new Deadpool Wolverine movie coming out, you know he's going to be killing a lot of these bastards again. And that ends my X-Men ranking for today. I will include the link to this tier list in the description. All right, I didn't make this one, somebody else did. You click that link, they get all the credit. I'm sure their name is on it somewhere. This is the ultimate and the true X-Men tier list. You'll go somewhere else, they'll probably try to tell you something different, but they're liars, they're wrong, because this is the only one that is accurate. I'm never wrong. I am always right. That is the power I hold as the master ranker. So if you like this video, you want to see me rank more stuff, because you want to know the true way how everything is supposed to be placed in order in life, I, the Master Raider, will take you on that journey. So until next time, enjoy these facts while you have them, because it is the most accurate list you will ever have. I am the Master Raider. See you next time.